Hello and welcome to Taku Katsu. This is the podcast where we talk about anime, new and old. The first episodes usually, sometimes more than that. And we occasionally get into some more adult content and conversation. That is going to be today, I promise you. So, first I'm going to introduce our co-hosts. We got Patrick.
You guys, it's for the plot, and it's good for the plots.
There's a whole lot of big plot in this show.
There's a lot of plot in this show. It's amazing.
And Vicky, queen of plot.
Did I just get Goblin Slayer?
Holy crap.
No, you did not.
Here's the thing. You did not, but it was damn close. And I'm the primary host of this episode, Cori, and we are watching the Idaten Gods Only Know Peace. Patrick, do me a favor.
Yes.
What's that in Japanese?
I fail at this. But it's actually, let me think. It's Heian Sedai no Idaten Tachi.
So, honest question, because that was a setup. I didn't prepare you at all. Does Idaten mean anything?
I think it's might have been just that's what they're gods, right? It might be like an old term for that. I don't really know for sure.
Because in the show, they refer to them very specifically as battle gods. So I came into this show with the assumption that it was going to be pretty violent, and it was going to be a shonen. Yeah, I was going for that, but I was like, let me back off. And it was going to be like a shonen anime. I'm like, yes, let me get a cool shonen. And yet again, my interest, my tastes betray me yet again. Clearly, I am a degenerate, just like Patrick.
They did not betray you. You were rewarded.
Maybe we're more alike than you know.
No, it's not. It's not that I don't enjoy what I enjoy, but I try to have a little bit of shame. Just a little bit of shame. So, we are talking about the Idaten Gods No Peace. If I call it Itadaten Gods, I apologize. Just pretend I said Itadakimasu, and we'll move on. This show is about 800-year-old god called Rin, who is guarding a seal of demons and her elder Idaten gods. And she now needs to train up, or she has been training a few of the newer Idaten gods. And that sounds like a shonen anime to me. So it goes places. So Vicky, what did you like about this show?
To be fair, it comes off sort of like a shonen anime, but it's more like Hunter x Hunter meets Dragon Ball Z had a baby with panty and stocking.
Ooh. I have my own comparison, and yes, but also more than that.
Yeah, and then that baby grows up,
and then that baby maybe grows up. It commits crimes. It travels the world. It dates multiple people.
It ruins your credit score.
Let me just say that and more. What else, Vicky?
First of all, it's very pretty. It's the opening alone. Holy crap!
So good.
So good. The song.
Yeah, we all agree, right?
Let me just say this. I watched every episode.
Oh.
I listened to that shit. I thought about skipping it. I'm like, nah, this is a good song. This is a good song.
Wait, are you saying
I watched
like the first episode so much you watched all of it?
Episode.
Oh my goodness.
In one
That is okay.
Whoa.
We gotta talk about that.
First of all, to be fair, I did watch the second episode too, because I was like, whoa.
Nope, not me.
Wait, let me get the bass in there. Hell yeah. Oh.
The opening song's great. The ending song, I could skip or
it's skippable. Totally skippable.
It's not enough coolness in the ending animation, really feel.
It's a heart. Like, why? The show is not about love.
Yeah. And then the characters are showing that's not their reality. That's not who those characters are. From the first 2 episodes that I saw, could see.
Yeah, because they're going shopping, and she's wistfully looking at a wedding dress. It's like, what is this about?
She's skateboarding. This is a stone cold hearted,
man.
But the opening, amazing.
So good.
It is refreshing to see so much blatant violence against what is essentially an unkillable being. Like, that's how I imagine, like, vampires are with each other. Mm-hmm. They're like, you're indestructible. You can go push those limits. But, woo, man, it is.
If you want to see violence on the same levels as this show, Bakano also has unkillable human beings. Tons of violence. Very good show. Anyway.
I've wanted to get into it, but this one just draws the eye. The characters are great. Patrick, what about you? Because I could just go on about the opening, the violence.
I agree. This is a great first episode. It has so many elements, and it's kind of hard. Like, we were trying to compare it to a show. Like, you can't really compare it to a show because there's so many elements. It has everything. It's bloody. It's brutal. It's funny. It has cute art. It's kind of has these chibi-type characters in a way. It also has ECCHI, and has good action, speed lines. It has everything.
It's a bare minimum 7.
No, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I was thinking maybe
bare
maybe 8.
Bare
minimum. If you pulled in somebody who's like 10s or 5s, they'd be like, yeah, this is still a 7.
No. It's it just has so many like elements mixed and matched together, and the art style is like what makes that even more distinct. In addition to everything that's in the show, like we said before, the music is great. When he was fighting the giant like demon, I was getting some like Attack on Titan vibes with that music and like all that. Like, I don't know if it would just go to that point, but I'm sure there's going to be like the deities is going to be fighting each other possibly, because that's just kind of how I can see it, and they're just not going to be fighting just the demons. But yeah, it's such a great show. It's every scene is like a screenshot you could pick on and like put on the wall. Like, it's just so colorful, and
yep.
I don't know. It really defines its own style and genre, just like panty and stalking, right? But even with that, it's like with this show, it's even more defined. Like, I haven't really seen anything like this, so it's just amazing.
And it's funny in its own way. It's not like bust out laughing out loud, but it's like it's got humor, like kind of baked in to take away from so much violence. And then there's more violence that happens, apparently. I can tell Cori is bursting.
Nope. Keep talking. Keep talking.
Like, I'm curious about the other side, the Zobel army.
Yep.
Like, why the doctor is a robot. More stuff that I learned in episode 2 that I'm like, what the hell is going on? Even, like, the Idaten themselves, it's so interesting. It's just interesting that these apparently ageless beings, the new ones look like children for some reason. Because Rin didn't age, as far as I could tell, in her 800 plus years of being around.
No. She just got stoic.
Yep.
She's like Biscuit. And then, just like Biscuit, kicks ass when they call her an old hag in a child's body.
At least she doesn't look like she's like 12.
Yeah. She looks like a teenager.
Yeah.
Young adult.
16, maybe 18.
But man, I love it. The violence. Kicking their ass. Like, when they were like, this is what training is. You feel like you're gonna die. And it's like, wow, that's brutal.
Yeah, it's like if you took being a Saiyan a little further.
Yep.
Yep. That's why it's like Dragon Ball Z vibes, but more harsh.
All right, so
more realistic, maybe.
Here's. I spent a while trying to like combine what this show is because whatever. All right, Kill la Kill.
Mm-hmm.
All right. A little tiny bit of Tanya the Evil.
Mm-hmm.
The vibrancy and the colors of Akudama Drive.
Oh, or can I throw in Promare?
Yeah. Because this is made by Studio Mappa, so it's got some quality there. It's not Gainax, but or Trigger, I should say. And then it's got the random hardcore edge of a Kame ga Kill. And Zane loves a Kame ga Kill. I think a Kame ga Kill is fine. He thinks it's like top tier show. We disagree. Anyway, so Kill a Kill, all of the horniness there, all of the ecchi there. Then you've got like the insanity of the military industrial complex of Tanya the Evil. It doesn't play the biggest role, but it plays a role. And you got some of the off-the-wallness of both Akudama Drive, especially the color palette and the interesting use of colors. The fact that characters are not always the same color that they are supposed to be because style. And then just the like ultra-violence of Akame ga Kill. And like the mood swings in this show, you'll go from like, ha ha ha, ho, whoa, wait, oh, shit.
Yeah. Yeah, first episode for sure.
Yeah. I was like, so at the end of the first episode, I'm like, okay, so someone's gonna save, oh, shit.
Yep.
Oh, that was blood. Oh.
Wait a minute. What do you
mean?
Oh. Like, how they even shot that was just like, it was so brutal.
Now,
but not, like, you don't get to see it. It exists in your mind mostly.
You mean the ending part?
Yeah,
we're talking about the ending part. Okay.
Yes.
I just
with the nun.
Yeah.
With the nun.
Yeah.
Not only that, but then they very much double down on the method, the mentality of the soldiers after that. So, as you said before, as you alluded to, not even allusion, you basically said, did you get a demon goblin slayer?
Yep.
Here's the difference, okay? And it's really, truly the only thing that I can say about it, and it's the only thing I asked for when it comes to Vicky's favorite show of early this year, or Goblin Slayer, which is they don't make it look sexy. You don't see anything. And what you do see is not meant to be sexy. It's meant to be like, oh, that's not good. Like, dudes, they were enjoying themselves, but it was not enjoyable. And that is the message I'm looking for if I'm going to have to watch something horrible happen.
Right.
I see.
With that being said, like, I think that, like, the ending part, let's just say out of all of the particular scenes we have saw in our past, this one's the most tamest one because it's presented. I found it comedic as well because of how they presented it. There was like orchestra playing. There was a glass stained window, like the church theme, and it was just like it was colorful, brutal as well. But that's just our imagination given to that part, you know. Like if it was painted in black and white, maybe that'd be like, oh, this is brutal. But the fact that it was colorful as well, like the presentation of it made it more like, haha. Like, I don't really know, like, what's going on, but it's like...
Because this show is definitely ecchi.
Yes.
So, like, 99% of the females have a bust size beyond B. And it's just, you know, male gaze and everything else is just there.
Did you... Yeah.
No,
did you want to know the secret why? I'm sorry, but do you want to know the secret? The author of this show, do you know the author?
Mm-hmm. Nope.
He also made... interspecies reviewers.
Are you kidding me?
So, I was like,
What?
that's why when I was watching this show, I was like, I wouldn't say like they're chibitais, but they had that stature. You know, they have that little like they're kids, but even the adults look very like kid, like chibitais, right? They just have that different stature.
Yeah.
They don't. The body proportions are very similar, and you know, but the author who is Amahara, also wrote interspecies reviewers.
Wow.
I believe he was the writer and author of it as well. But if not, he was partially of the creator of it as well.
So what you're saying is when he drew Android 18, that was on purpose. Because every time I saw her, I'm like, that's Android 18. That's 18. That's a slightly more attractive Android 18. The general, I think she shows up in the second episode now that I think about it.
General P.
Yeah, Panchat or Panacea. I don't know. Anyway,
Pentecost.
She's in there. But she definitely reminds me of Android 18. But there are 2 scenes with her where she loses control of her arousal for a while.
Yeah.
Wow.
And so, with that being said,
2.
like, this show...
Within, 11 episodes.
Like, this show's going to have that part of it,
now,
but I don't...
This is why it still hits a minimum of a 7.
But I don't think that it really takes away from the show in a certain way that other shows would, I don't know if it's blatantly added in there, but that could be a part of it, and people can argue, but, like, I'm just like, the show is still amazing. Like, I would still want to watch the show regardless of the ending of episode 1.
So I'll give you this. They do a very good job of justifying it in a way that, like, okay, yes, but like you could say, like, okay, yes, they justified it well. They still didn't have to do it that way. Like, it was done to be, what do they call it? Beefcake, cheesecake. They did it to be a horny show. But the first time it's done, it's completely like, okay. The second time, you're just like, oh, it's a repeat. They're just doing that because
oh wow,
the show is purposeful, right? It really knows what it wants to do. It's really intentional in how it does it, and I appreciate that. Even if I wouldn't mind if it would.
Oh, so when Idaten do it, it's fine.
No.
Kearu goes through with revenge. It's, just...
it's different. It is. It's so much different. Like, again, this is a very bare minimum 7. Like, I have to look at the chart again, but it's an 8, basically. Because the only thing you don't see is, like, actual nipples and anything more severe than that. It's so bad. Like, it goes for it. It goes for it. And I'll tell you right now, they make a joke about Shotacons, and it ain't a joke.
Wait,
are you talking about in episode 2?
I'm talking about episode 10 and 11.
Ooh, it goes on.
Oh my god!
How long is that scene?
So here's what happens. Very, very spoiler friendly. The most horny character in the show, and I mean that in both of the ways that you can interpret that. The most horny character in the show. Oh, also the most horny character at one point has a blurred out dildo and or vibrator.
They go for it.
Yeah.
Wow.
So that character says, yeah, these are going to be your husbands. These husbands that they're referring to haven't been born yet.
Wow.
And then they say, what? You don't like Shota? And she's like, well, yeah, I do, actually. That isn't a joke. It comes true.
Wow.
Yeah. Not okay, anime. Stop it, Japan.
Hey. I'm giving it a pass because the author writes this content. And if you expect nothing if you don't expect it from this author, like, you're going to be like, where's my interspecies reviewers? Just like this,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Knowing that was written by the same author, the second episode makes a lot more sense where they're like, the army is like preparing to go to this town, and they're like, what do you want? And they're like, Shota's lollipop. And I was like, what?
Right.
It was just like...
I actually forgot that part because I focused on the raping and pillaging part that they were super excited about. But yeah, they definitely were like, we want Shotas and we want lollies and we want to rape and pillage. Like, holy crap.
I was like...
Evil army is evil.
For real. And it's almost like they're doing it as a stereotype to show how bad this army is and like how evil this whole side is.
Right.
And then maybe spoiler, but more conjecture. I'm like, are they demons on that side, or are they messed up Idaten? Are they which is why the first 2 episodes are just so good, because it gives you more questions that make you want to keep watching it to find out what's happening.
So let me say this. Every time I've complained about a show being like way too horny for no good reason, this show, with the exception of the horniest one, and even in a way, like, it makes sense. Like, they justify it about as well as you could imagine. Like, it builds on itself. There's a reason why the army is a bunch of rapists. Is it a good reason? for a show about this kind of thing, yeah. Is it shown other than with the nun? No. Thank you, Japan.
Okay.
Does it follow up and logically like now that you said that, I'm like, oh yeah, like they connect the dots so well. It's the same issue I have with what is now a new season, Mushoku Tensei. It does such a good job of everything else that it makes it just a little easier to forgive it for when it's horrible.
Right.
What I will say is, I prefer, and only just by a slight amount, this version of horrible versus Mushoku Tensei. Because his version of horrible is just like willingly being an ass to be kind. While this one is like, the demons are trying to take over the world, but they have to do it a certain way because they know they'll get killed if they don't.
Yeah. It's starting to make sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, the first episode too, because even the Idaten, their kids and whatnot, like even they don't understand like how humans work or demons work. Because when he was fighting, they were like doing that studying as well. That the smart dude, the shady guy with the phone calling people. I don't know. I should have watched episode 2.
The doctor.
But no.
Doctor. Yeah.
Him with him, but even the Idaten with the glasses. He at the end of the first episode, he was like talking to someone, and I was like, man, like they studying as well, and like even they don't know. And so for us, it's kind of interesting because we're also in the same boat. We're like, why is it this way? And I can see maybe you're hinting at it, but like it's not that it's justifying it, but it's making sense for the world and why they gotta do this. But from the first episode standpoint, it's just like, oh, war crimes, whatever, right? But maybe there's more to it than that. Let's say
it's well justified as far as a piece of entertainment or art or whatever you want to call it, because there's obviously like gratuitous violence and gratuitous nudity and gratuitous sex for the sake of pandering, and then there's like, okay, I want to do this, so how can I justify it? And the author justifies it very consistently and very well, and things that you find out early on pay off later on. And this is 11 episodes, so it's well planned out. Even if it's going to end because there's no more episodes, so even if there's no second season, like it and there needs to be, this really paid off for it. Like it just was very, very well thought out, really well planned. I would say on a scale of Code Geass to Death Note to Full Metal Alchemist, it's probably somewhere between. And I'm just talking about like the way that the story is told, the skillfulness of the story being told. It's at minimum on its worst day, season 2 Death Note. And if this show goes on longer, I'm going to start putting it up closer to Full Metal Alchemist, which I think is one of the best anime series ever made, especially Brotherhood. Now
Brotherhood is
I'm sad because this show is definitely not for people under the age of 16.
Yeah.
Like 18 is probably a good healthy number, because I don't want you watching this around anybody who's going to judge you. This show is horny for no good reason sometimes. Well, it feels like it's horny for no good reason.
Yeah. Watching it, I was like, so he picked another one, huh?
Hey.
Worst part was, I go on the VRV, I go find it, and I'm like, wait, why does it say mature? Shit.
Yeah. And then I watched a little clip of what I'll be presenting next episode, and I was like, did you pick Idaten to warm us up? Like, was it like a little...
No.
We'll get to that when we get to that.
Are we doing a trilogy?
I'm gonna have to pick one too, but we'll get to that, Vicky.
I was trying to freaking watch a new shonen anime, and it was like, nah, no tournament arcs in this one.
No shonen will be mature rated.
So what else do I like about the show? That opening really did remind me of Jujutsu Kaisen, or Yu Yu Naruto, as we call it here. It just had something about it. I was like, yeah, this is great. This is great. Like, the art palette in the show is really, really interesting and varied. And it colors, if I can say this, it colors the mood. The mood and the color of the show generally go together. If it's a war arc, there's a lot of dark colors and grays and browns and blacks. If it's, interrogation, it might be green and blue. If it's like horny for horny's sake, it's probably going to be red. Like, that's the colors that you see in the show. It's got a good story arc. It makes sense. I want to see the characters get more powerful. I watched it all in one day because I was like, I need to figure out what's going on with this horny ass show. It's good. It's super good. If you like Agami Got Kill, you're probably going to like this a whole hell of a lot. Zane. If you like Kill la Kill, this is your show. This is your show.
Yeah.
Kill la Kill and this show are in the same boat. It's been a little bit since I've seen Kill la Kill. I think this show's a little bit worse on the horny factor. Mm-hmm. Kill la Kill is much more shonen than this one is. But, yeah, good show. Yeah. Oh, just so you know, anybody who liked Kite from Hunter x Hunter, there's like a Kite type character, but not at all. He's amusing. Kontea,
for a moment, I thought you were talking about Kite, the anime movie itself, and I was like, "Woof, that's a harsh comparison."
No.
Oh boy,
I do feel like sometimes. I'm watching this show and I get tonal whiplash. Like, it's super, and I've said that earlier, but it's super, like, silly and goofy and like, lighthearted, and then, like, something crazy happens, like, demons giving birth to uncontrollable murder demons.
Right, which is the plot. Which is, like the Goblin Slayer plot. They need to procreate with humans because goblins can't procreate by themselves.
It's more complicated than that, so there's a lot less, there's a lot of problems. Mm-hmm. Anyway, so let's talk about problems. Patrick, why don't you go first?
Yeah, like you said, I think we all agree that this show has a lot going for it, and, it's definitely a show that you should watch. If you can, if you can manage the etchiness of it, it's definitely a show that you should watch. And like I said, I don't want to give any of that etchy part or the problem, the part that we don't like about it. That shouldn't just be the only reason why you don't watch the show. But I understand, like I said, if you can't, stomach that, then it's just not going to be the part. It's like if there was a reverse supercut of just removing all those bits out, then you just watch the show. But would I take away from the show? Like, do you need it? Are those key points for the storyline?
Yeah.
Right? So you can't remove that part. Like,
you really can't.
So, yeah.
Okay, sorry. So the nun is super important. Well, okay, not super. She's very
she's an intro, so she has to be a key point.
Mm-hmm.
Like, right? She will become important. How important? That's a different question. But she becomes, it takes 8 episodes, but she becomes an important character. But if I explain more, you would, 1, I would confuse you, and 2, it would be a spoiler. And I don't know if it's a big spoiler yet, but it's really hard to explain. But she becomes important when she's not important for 6 episodes at minimum.
Yeah.
But it's almost like her inclusion in the first episode was such a departure from the tone that it's like, this is leading you to something important, but it was like, whoa, what am I watching? Because it's just so abrupt and just such a change.
Yeah, so a kick to the nuts.
So a nun. Yep.
It's what I like to. So what we don't like about the show, I always I haven't seen Game of Thrones, but I hear really, really good things about that show. But I understand that there are, there's strong plot in that show, but there's even stronger plot in that show. If you understand what I'm saying,
Wow.
So
absolutely, I was gonna make that comparison. And I forgot.
For me,
there's very much
it's
plot.
I understand that I'm not going to discredit the show because it has that, just like we do Healer. I don't want to discredit that show because I really do like that story, that ability. Kiaru is amazing in the worst sense.
It's such a good show.
Sense. I don't like him, but his abilities and the whole plot story is great.
And I'm just saying, if you're going to say that in Idaten, it all is justified, what is more justified than revenge? Come on!
Okay, there's a huge difference between... Okay, explain to me what's justified. Explain to me what's justified about it. What does he do that justify... Because again, we're not talking about the in-character reason. I'm talking about the artist reason for doing the showing sex or rape or murder or whatever. That's what I'm
thinking. I got you right there.
If you took it out, why would it be...
Vicky, I got you right there. So I'm sorry, Cori, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but because it's fun.
Yeah, because it's fun? The only reason it matters...
No, here's the thing. It's like, again...
that's a good point,
like,
though.
It's a speech for viewers. They didn't have to make this show, but the fact that it's a show about going to brothels with different monsters, you expect to see every monster. You expect these things. So the author did it, and it was like, hey, here's a show about this type of material. If you want to watch it, go for it.
So to my understanding, Interspecies Reviewers as a manga did not have those scenes.
It was not as bad. It's very tame in comparison to the anime.
So, but it makes sense logically. If I make a show about prostitutes, I'm expecting some kind of sexual behavior. If I make a show about revenge, there is no implication of rape and murder.
Except he has been abused so much. And these people he's doing it to are not innocent, like in any sense of the word.
Okay,
they are bad, evil people.
Then murder them.
But the point is revenge so that they feel just a taste of what their victims feel before they're dead.
Here's the thing. I have to admit, I finished watching Yukoku no Moriarty, Season 1, an episode of Season 2.
Yeah.
1. That show is what I think Cori is looking for because the revenge is death. The revenge and Yukoku Moriarty, he gets true justice and kills the evil villain who, like Vicky said, who are just pure evil people. And they do bad things, and Yukoku Moriarty, you get the ending of they're dead. They killed them.
You know what? You need to watch? The anime version of the Count of Monte Cristo. That's some revenge.
That's just pure revenge. That's
Vicky, pure revenge, or do you want your spicy revenge? I think maybe Vicky likes your spicy revenge.
I want my revenge spiced up. Revenge is not best served cold. It's best served piping hot with some seasoning.
Spices. I was about to say, like, that's pure revenge versus, the revenge.
That's like deconstructed sandwich. Like, here you go. Here's your pieces. No, I want.
Oh my goodness.
She wants some sex and revenge.
No, it's not the sex. It's the elaborate.
Okay. No, it's not. In all honesty, the Count of Monte Cristo is elaborate as hell. That's a lot. Like, look, on a scale of elaborate to not elaborate, you've got like, in maybe the low tier of elaborate is like Lelouch in Code Geass. Like, it's not that elaborate, right? And then you build up, and at like near the top, it's got to be Count of Monte Cristo. That dude spent decades in prison, got out of prison by escaping by faking his death, went and became a count by getting rich, built up a whole company, then went back to where all those people who messed him up, and slowly got one to kill himself, arrested, and made the other guy, I think he killed him too. And then, his son, and just, oh,
that sounds good.
So elaborate.
Sounds good.
Count of Monte Cristo is elaborate.
I'm watching the anime.
Yeah. Anyway, so the main thing is, I think that the author's justification is much better, especially in presentation.
Yeah.
Than Goblin Slayer or Redo of Healer, because I think Redo of Healer and Goblin Slayer are and again, these are three very horny shows. But I think the difference for me, personality, taste-wise, general feelings of shame and guilt mixed in, if I'm gonna see someone do something horrible, and professionally, I hear people who have had horrible things done to them or have done horrible things. So I got some reality to also contend with. But
you can't mix the two.
But if you're gonna make me witness some horrible stuff, I don't want it to be presented in a way that I could ever interpret as interesting and attractive. Like, I don't ever want to see a bunch of soldiers and they're like, yeah, let's go rape some women. This is great. Isn't this great, guys? I want those guys to be the complete scum of the earth, and I want to be revolted. I don't want to have even a moment where it's like, they make a good point. Like, why wouldn't I? If I'm a soldier, I'm justified in raping and pillaging. It's what I get for pay. That's just, that if that's how you sell it to me, I'm like, ooh, Cause it's giving an argument for something that shouldn't have one. Even if there is a justification in the real world why people do horrible things, I don't need you to make that argument for me. I don't need you to make that argument ever. Someone's going to make that argument. Please don't do it. Give it to me. And that's just more just me. Like, yeah, I don't even want to have to, like, in my head think like, is that why people want to rape? Like, that's not like, nah, it's uncomfortable. And then if you're going to make it look like, man, that goblin is getting some ass. Like, I don't like that either. So when Kearu is just like, I'm going to torture you. I'm going to burn down your castle. I'm going to have sex with you. And it's going to be hilarious. Because I deserve this. That feels wrong.
I see what you're talking about.
So.
But on the other hand...
but no.
Do you have an honest response?
No. On the other hand, it's like you. I'm not justifying. Again, you're right about like the fact that like you could just say, oh, it's just war crimes. You know, it's what they were doing back in the day, or it's just like, oh, that's how they did it back in the 1600s. We did this and that. And again, although it is terrible, that's not what we want to hear. It's like that is not. It shouldn't be that way. But for the sense of Vidu Healer and that whole plot line, the revenge aspect is like. You can't. They justify it for themselves, but you're not gonna agree with them. But it's just like that's their point of view, and you can't like take on that reasoning because it's like, oh, this guy's in the deep end. Like he's a madman. So whatever he does, I'm not saying it's right, or I'm not giving him an excuse. But like, yeah, I can see how he became this way, and for the revenge. Like I get why Kiara is doing this.
Yeah,
but it's just like
absolutely.
But it's just like for me, I think. Like you're right. It's like I don't want to be affected. Like I would prefer not to watch it either. And but I get why he's messed up in the head. But that's the again another point we were saying like why the author's intentions and all that. It's like it's just someone wanted to make a show about this and here it is, guys. Here's the budget. People like it.
I mean, look, that's what it feels like. It feels like he was like, hey. I just want, and I've said this before.
It's true. No.
I want to make a rape fantasy.
Hey, just like with any other.
And movie. what's a way to justify a rape fantasy? Well, they raped him first.
It comes off that way a little bit.
So
it's a little extreme.
Yeah, I mean, and look, in real life. All right, now I'm gonna be super serious. I apologize for anybody who came here for our PG-13 comedy. People who are victims of trauma, violence, abuse, generally speaking, have two options. They act, they do everything they can not to do what was done to them, or they struggle to do anything different than what was done to them. Generally speaking, if you hurt me, why wouldn't I hurt other people the same way I was hurt? Mm-hmm. It's what I was taught, especially if I was younger. Now, there are obviously ways to learn how to behave differently. But people aren't very good at doing that without a lot of purpose and intent. And if it happened to you as a child or a teenager, Kearu, you're going to go see your therapist or you're going to go murder some people because you got time powers?
To be fair.
It's just, yeah.
After watching the whole thing, the only ones that are very much non-consensual are the princesses. Because their minds are changed to be a certain way. Everyone else that he has relations with does so of their own free will, even though they're a bit manipulated into it by him presenting a certain point of view to be like, if you want to get stronger, this is a way to do it. But it was true. It was like, this is a way to do it. Or like, if you want to pay me back, hey, if you're horny for it, let's go. Or the Demon Lord, the future Demon Lord, where he's like, you can join in if you want. We're going to keep doing it. And if you want to join in, feel free. So it's mind games for the other ones, but he literally changes the minds of two of them. And, you know, he's not just going out and finding innocent people to be like, I'm going to abuse you now.
Sure. Okay. I can agree with that part without question.
No, it's and like I want to apply Yukoku no Moriarty as well, because like the thought is that they're also bad people. Like they make revenge seem like it's a good thing, right? And it's something with maybe with Reader Healer as well, the same aspect. Like, I don't know why, but we picked two shows. Like I love Yukoku and she loves Reader Healer. but I'm
gonna watch Yukoku
no Moriarty is like, they understand that, you know, but they're justifying themselves just like lights, because like, oh, these people deserve to die. Like they're not real humans. If we could get rid of the evil in this world, quote unquote evil, then the world will be purified. And he has this whole, he's basically lights from Death Note, and in the way he's thinking and the way he's justifying himself. But there is a sense of a good morality. Like, no, we're doing this for the people. We are the patriots. We are the ones for the people, and not for. And I was a little conflicted because like you know, I was like, they're making just revenge seem like a good thing, you know? And I'm not sure if that's the correct message, but that's what, off of the surface, when you watch it, you're like, oh yeah, Kiaro is getting revenge. I'm happy for him. I may not like his decisions, but I'm glad that the evil people are getting their comeuppance, right? And there's also a big parallel of, you know, William, who is also like he's like, are you willing to do this? Like, I could give you the options. Hey, here are these buttons you could press. Here's this knife. But are you going to do it, you know? Mm-hmm. And every time, without fail, they do it, you know? Like, they get their revenge. Except for, amazingly, I forgot his name. Sherlock Holmes gets introduced in the show at episode 6.
I was going to ask.
Sherlock Holmes gets introduced, and with Watson as well. It's amazing. So, but then Sherlock Holmes, they give him the option to find out, like, if to enact on his revenge, I guess. But Sherlock Holmes, he doesn't do it, and that's like the parallel of like, do everything but kill the person you would want to get your answers, you know, or get.
Is Sherlock Holmes also a pretty boy?
Yes, Sherlock Holmes is the pretty boy. He's got the look. Watson is also.
Wait, so Moriarty's
is
blonde.
Watson a pretty boy?
Is Watson also a pretty boy?
No, Watson's more of a normal. He's a regular like shonen boy. He's like a regular like kind of military shonen boy. He's like, yeah, I'm just a buddy.
Okay,
I'm just the buddy.
Because I my imagination was one of a couple things, but before I get to that. Does Sherlock Holmes have black hair?
Yes, black hair. And he's got like the little...
Hey, I've watched anime enough. I can kind of guess.
He's basically L.
Like,
okay.
Blonde hair? Black
he's basically L of the show because episode 1 through 5 is with Moriarty, and then episode 6 through like 10 is with Sherlock Holmes. And then the last episodes, they combine they cross paths again, and then they get the little storyline. So it's very interesting on that sense, because you would think it would just be William and his crew just enact revenge over and over, which it is. But Sherlock Holmes gets to be like, why are these deaths happening? He is encountering William's, you know, his dastardly deeds, and he's trying to solve
web of crimes.
Yeah, exactly, the web of crimes, and it's so good. It's such a good crime thriller drama story with the pretty boys. But no, I think. Yukoku no Moriarty, like, if it was just a show of episodes, like the whole show was like, oh, get revenge, but Sherlock Holmes is entered in there as like, oh yeah, wait a minute, maybe you shouldn't do everything you can to get your revenge. maybe there's boundaries. So Sherlock
Mhm.
Holmes is the mind. He's your conscious. Like there are boundaries, but in Reader Healer there are no boundaries. There is no like Sherlock Holmes to be like, hey, wait a minute, maybe I shouldn't do this. I feel like Reader Healer is just no, 100%. We're correct. We are the good guys of this show.
Yeah.
And yeah,
there's no stopping for thought
Exactly.
in Video Healer. It's like, this is the plan, we're gonna execute it no matter what.
So, anything else we want to talk about what we don't like about Idaten? We've already gotten a little off the topic a bit.
it's just that plain and simple.
Yeah.
It's just that itchy part. I mean,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
you could expect a little bit more in the future episodes, right? But I would hope that it's not, hopefully it's not 10 minutes of the show. Like, give me 20 minutes of good action and 2 or 3 minutes of etchiness. I'll be like, okay, that's not bad.
That's about right. It's honestly more violent than it is sexy. But yeah, at the end, there's some lollipopping, if you know what I mean.
There's some interspecies reviewers.
There's some Shota species reviewers, is what I'm saying.
Hey.
Wow.
Hey.
Now, to be fair, is it explicit? That's a difficult question to answer.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Do I see anything? I don't see the boys actively doing anything. But it is strongly implied.
The implications are there.
The implications are
Hey, episode 1 had some
disturbing.
implications.
Should I just tell you what it is?
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay. Episode 11.
Okay.
I think. It's either 10 or 11.
Will we continue to watch this show?
That's all you need to see.
Vicky, will we
Okay.
continue to
So,
watch
Vicky, you gonna watch the rest of this show? You got 10 more episodes.
I will.
9 episodes
I have
to go.
to. I have to watch it.
Patrick?
I have to.
Absolutely. Corey. Yes. You gonna watch this show? Already did.
Yeah, this is the first time, I think,
Yeah.
where we're like, someone has already watched all of it.
Yeah.
I watched
Before we've even talked about
all
the
of it
first
yesterday because I was like, I'm watching this. I got pretty close with Higehiro. I watched like 6 of those before we started, or maybe even 8. I watched a
Hey,
lot
Corey,
of that. But this
Corey, do you
one,
also feel bad watching the show? just a little. It's just a little guilt in there.
I feel bad when it comes to the nun,
Yeah.
and I feel bad when it comes to the Shota.
Okay.
Would you have watched this show if we didn't talk about it?
Yes. That's so.
You would have picked it on your own?
So here's the thing. I heard about this show and Finna like a month ago, because I think they were late entries into the season or something like that. And I'm like, okay, I want to watch these. And then we kept watching other stuff, and we watched what was the last show I picked? The one with the art dude.
Remake Our Lives.
Remake Our Lives. So I picked that instead of Finna or Idaten, because I was like, I probably won't like that show as much. And I really wanted to see those 2 shows of Idaten and Finna. So I was going to watch Idaten, but I was holding off. So then, like, as soon as I could watch it, I'm like, I got to watch the other one. Okay, I need to watch now. Okay, what's going on with Green? Glasses dude needs to calm down. He needs
he's
to
my
train.
boy.
He needs to
Glasses
train.
is my boy.
Is what he needs to do. Yeah. He is in a weird way like the insert character. If you're like, I could do that, but I probably wouldn't. I'll just be the smart one. But yeah. There's a lot of interesting things about Idaten, and I definitely would watch it. It's got a lot of questions that are really interesting to see answered.
I really like the line when they actually say the Idaten gods only know peace, or know only peace, because they were talking about why they don't help humans otherwise. Like, they don't help with wars or anything like that, but that's what they're born from, is what they were saying, is like the prayers of humans, thoughts of humans.
Yeah.
But
that's an important bit of knowledge that will be re-explained later.
The nun.
I
nun
figured.
was praying. Ooh.
Yeah, and she was like, does God not
That's good
exist?
stuff.
And I was just like, is this where demons come from?
Ooh.
And then I was like, is this where
that's
Idaten come
good.
from?
Oh.
Are demons Idaten? And then I was like, it was just like this whole, like, this is why I gotta watch it, because the questions
this show is
come.
It's good. Oh, man. I gotta watch this.
So good.
You know, it's good when you watch it and you just have more questions.
Yes.
Of like,
yes,
you get answers,
So good.
but you have more questions.
so good. This show is So good.
On the other hand, you can go too much and just always have questions and be like, what the hell? Like Lost. Calling that out.
Well, I think we all agree on that. No.
Yeah. It's good when you can start piecing it together and like getting your own like theories of why things happen and having them confirmed.
Yeah.
Or disproven.
Yeah, this show is really, really good. It is it really is a shame that there is so much, adult related content, because it's so, like, this is the kind of show that if I was 14, no way in the world I should be watching this. But
you were.
Exactly.
But it's a really good show that I would love everyone to watch at someday. If you're into anime enough to deal with the etchiness. Yeah. Yes. Watch this show. It is so good. It is really, really good. And
we'll go cable rules and say 17 up.
Right. But that's the
line.
That's the problem. Like, this show does not just have boobs. It goes all the way. As I said, there's a whole time where there's a blurred out sexual image or sexual object, and she's like, "I gotta go to the bathroom." You're like,
"Oh my god!"
Yeah, like
what a line.
It's very odd. It's not hidden that there is sex involved, but they don't show the actual act. But they're like, "Here's the line. This is us." Right under it, just like, I know where the line is. I will not cross it.
Is it the little one that was doing all of this? That jumped off the church? It's not?
Nope.
Oh. Is it the General P?
Nope.
It's a different character I haven't seen yet.
Nope.
Oh boy.
I've seen this character.
Yep.
Oh, okay. I think I know. It's the glasses, dude. That dude is shady.
It depends on what you mean.
I don't know.
What are we referring to? I might be misunderstanding your intention. What do you mean?
The one that had the blurred out everything.
What? Oh, no. You have technically seen the character in the opening and or ending.
Yeah, the littlest one.
No.
It's not the littlest one. Oh, it's the one that looks like a succubus.
Yes. It's the one that looks like she's horny for everything. Yes.
No. Okay.
That character alone is like, uh-oh.
Yep.
When you see a character that looks like that, you're like, oh.
She has that demon lord vibes, you know what I'm saying? The great demon lord.
She has succubus vibes.
She's the great demon lord. Yeah.
So, really good show.
No, I think it's great. I think it's also a weird part. I mean, I don't want to detract, but it's like extreme violence versus any part of edginess, right? It's like we could take, like, we're okay watching Shingeki no Kyojin, like Attack on Titans, right? Like the pure violence and gore, like blood, like that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
But as soon as you add a little bit of like, maybe like a little bit of edginess, we're like, I can't watch it anymore.
And that's generally the American sensibility.
Right. That's the American thing. True. Like we could go crazy hardcore Mortal Kombat.
Honestly, I would be okay if they turned down both, but it's a really good show.
We're so desensitized to violence that ultra violence totally fine. But you get that erotica in there, and it's like, distaste.
I'm honestly more upset about the Shota stuff than I am.
Yeah, well,
yeah.
I think we know.
The nun is pretty bad. Everything else, I'm like, panty and stocking, whatever. I'm used to it by now. But the violence is pretty. It goes there. It goes there.
I just still enjoy that scene where, like, she turned around out of nowhere and kicked his ass for calling her old.
Punching,
and it was just so the blood splatters, and I was like, "Oh shit!" So it's that kind of show,
right? No, the first episode really sets you up. Like it is. I will give us this gets the full Katsudan award for a very good first episode. Like, man, it is a really good start. And it just gives you all the questions you need. It introduces 80% of the characters you'll ever need to know. And it just makes it work. It's a good first episode. It's a good show. Definitely, please watch this if you can stomach the less comfortable stuff. But like I said, you don't have to actually see anybody do anything terrible.
Right.
You just see silhouettes at worst, and you get implications also at worst. It's there are, I would say, at least 4 times where you're like, oh, that's what just happened.
I do appreciate the implications and the, like, you don't see it explicitly. Like, when they actually showed the shot of the nun and she was slightly moving, I was like, oh no.
I was like, yeah.
That
part
was
like, oh. Go back to the glass stained, beautiful orchestrated. Like that was great.
I was like, oh, but then that was it. That was as bad as it gets, and I was like, thank God, because I was like, fuck, if this show gets worse than this.
Yeah, it was
those like last 5 repeating frames. I'm like, no, please don't.
Yeah, it came out of nowhere. It felt like, and I was just like, what?
But again,
what am I watching?
The difference between this and Goblin Slayer is Goblin Slayer, you see the full view. You're just like, hey, look at that. That Goblin's getting it.
Same with Game of Thrones.
She's pretty hot.
Where it's like certain.
Yeah, good job, Goblin. You're getting yours, Goblin. Versus this one's just like, that guy is enjoying himself, and it is gross and horrible.
Yeah. Which I will point out, I liked how it was directed, like the shot, because you are focusing on the victim and not the perpetrator, whereas like other things will show like the glee of the perpetrator or whatever. And it's like you lose sight of like there's someone being victimized here and like their pain. So it was, at least it was not super explicit. Like you just had a little shot just to be like, this is happening, sucks, obviously, but it humanized her instead of just being an object that something's happening to.
And I'll say this: they bring up a lot of philosophical points as the show goes on, like the thing with the Idaten and why they don't really interfere and all that. And it's just like, it makes you think. Like, the show has so many good points that actually pay off versus like when I pick a show where I'm like, that's a cool premise, and then it's doesn't pay off at all because it's Redo of Healer.
No, Redo Healer does pay off. It pays off every episode.
Stop it.
It does.
Sorry.
Damn it.
Go back to your point.
Okay. I don't care.
It pay off. The premise is pay off. The gods, why they don't interfere, it's great. They only know peace. Gods only know peace. They don't intervene.
Yeah. Oh, right. So good. The fighting's good.
Oh.
The fighting's good.
Quick question.
Yeah.
So they were like, we're born from the thoughts of humans, and the one girl can talk to birds because she's mostly bird thoughts. What were birds going through that they needed a god to like save them?
That I don't fully understand yet. So they don't really dig into that too well. But they also have like 4 different times where they explain stuff in fast forward.
Yep.
And that's a little hard to read. That's okay. So that's a thing against the show. Sometimes it's really hard to read all that. Like, just like, I'm like, I wanted to know this. Let me go back. Oh my God. But yeah. The show about demons.
Another good pick next week will be covering Evelogia.
Vicky
is out.
Vicky. This show is definitely a 9 out of 10 on the ECCHI scale. But
it's a 9, if not a 10.
There's a caveat to that because I don't know why, but I should admit this, but I've seen hints of 10 out of 10 on like random screenshots. I'm like, okay, this is a 10 out of 10, you guys.
I watched this like clip.
Exactly.
It was just 5 minutes. It was
that's all you need. All you need was 5 minutes.
Like,
like, yep, that's how you know.
Oh man!
And at first, I thought that was the how the show was formatted, where it was just like a 7-minute show each episode, which leads more to the 10 out of 10ness, like the one with the dude that becomes a girl. Like, there's no plot to sustain it. Where it's just, if it's 7 minutes long, it's a 10.
Well,
because it's just for, there's no plot. I don't know if the plot can save this one from being a 10.
Actually, since it's only 7 minutes, I have more time. It's not an hour-long show like Katana Gatari, so I'm happy with a 7-minute show.
Yeah.
Katana Gatari is great. Stop it.
I'll watch a 7-minute show with you, Vicky. It's fine. 7 minutes, not bad. I'll do that. I don't need to invest an hour with you. It's fine.
Yeah, I gotta find the full episode though, because I believe it's a half hour.
All right. Let's plot the plot.
All right. Well, make sure you type out this terrible show's name so I can go watch it later.
Yep. Yep.
Okay. So, B-side. We don't have to do a super long B-side today, but you got ideas for a B-side before I say anything?
Well, since you picked this show and Vicky picked the next show, it is my goal to find a show that fits the theme. I will try
old or new.
I want to try for new because I will see.
There's a lot of new adult content shows.
Yeah, we talked about this. We did say that it feels like there are 17 plus or 16. I mean, there are on the edge type of shows now that are just seem to be ramping up. That,
or maybe we just are knowing them now because we're old enough that it's not.
Maybe that's true.
I don't know. I think they're getting promotions and good quality animating. Other stuff is just it's just crappy, shitty anime quality. But this is they put effort into these.
Vicky has a good point. Because as the degenerates, a lot of those hentai related shows are not animated well, and so that's how that's why they are able to crank them up like literally and figuratively because yeah,
we all heard what you said. We all heard that.
No, but it's true because with simple animation stills, you could just repeat 5 frames and you're good. But the point of Vicky is saying, these shows are gaining budgets now, and they're actual 30-minute nice and detailed shows, and more than just
good voice acting.
Yeah, it's they got budgets now for. And again, I'm not surprised that Redo Healer or Interspecies Viewers or any of those type of shows are getting that are made, because I would assume they would get made eventually, but I didn't think they would get made at this level. If they were got made as a regular hentai show, it would have been the quality animation, but it would have been oh, whatever. But the fact that they are getting trying to be made to be seen and promoted to be 17 plus, so it doesn't hit that mark, where it isn't just a hentai show. It's just, this is just a really ecchi show, and they can market it that way. And I think it's really successful. I mean, I'm assuming they've hit their mark for these shows now, and I
mean, look, if Vicky's show gets remade and mine doesn't, I'm gonna be pissed.
Even with Mushoku Tensei, right? Even with that show, pretty edgy on the line, but it's still super well made. And it's beautiful.
It's so
exactly.
beautiful.
And it's just more. I guess there's just more of that edginess, no bips and bobs, but just maybe some bits being promoted in our recent anime, and possibly we're older, but I would like to believe if when we were younger we would have seen it too, just because of the internet is the internet. Yeah.
Yep. I think one of the first anime I watched was Wicked City.
The movie. Oh my goodness. Yeah. There's some content in there.
Yeah.
Good plot?
I was 10.
10?
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Is this our B-side confession?
Yeah.
So Cori, when was the last? When was the earliest you've seen some bits and bobs of anime? No, I don't even know either.
Yeah. It was Fist of the North Star, Wicked City, mixed in with my Dragon Ball Z. Dragon Ball at the time.
Ninja Scroll.
So
didn't watch that.
When I think about ultra violence in anime, that's what I think of, Ninja Scroll,
Berserk.
That was whoa, they are murdering some people. I can see guts. And technically, Idaten doesn't always go that far. It's usually cartoon violence to its extreme, but it's not I cut your torso off and I see your guts hang out, which is that's the top of the level, and it does go there eventually, but it's not quite that in the show proper. I won't explain any more than that. It's yeah. So, all right. Well, Patrick, if you're going to find something to not be adult friendly, then
I
you
would
let
try
us know
to.
what that will be. Because there's like 6 other shows. Like, there's honestly like 4 shows that just seem like their basic premise. I'm like, all right, there could be some good shows out this week. Like the Vampires on the Moon one. I'm like, all right, maybe that could be good.
Vampires?
Yeah.
Let's go.
Let me find the name of it real quick. So Demon Slayer is going to have its new thing. 86 is coming back. Jahi is continuing. That looks like a ghost show.
Yeah, I want to watch that ghost show.
Tact OP Destiny. That's the one with music against aliens. That could be fun. Everybody's favorite, Muv Love. Vicky doesn't know about Muv Love.
Nope.
Let's see. Is this the one? Oh no, that's Finna. Still want to see that. Oh, okay. Suki to Laika to Nosferatu. I don't know what the English title is, but it's a sci-fi space vampire, and that's 2 of the things I already like. So, and then also vampire.
Space vampires.
So, did you say Sukito Vampire?
Suki to Laika to Nosferatu.
Nosferatu is...
It's moon something in vampires.
Yeah.
Particularly Nosferatu. Like that's...
Yeah.
That's
it's Vampire on the Moon. That's what it is. Set in a fictional world 10 years after a long war divided the world into 2 superpowers, the Union of whatever, United Kingdom of whatever. Both of them are trying to go to the moon. That's basically what it is.
So the moon race, but with vampires.
Yeah. Then there's Muv Love, as I already said. Heike, Heike, Monogatari. I don't know who makes that, but that's a thing.
Oh my god. I found the show.
What?
I found the freaking show.
Oh no. Then there's Tesla.
My
God.
god.
Just gonna ignore Patrick.
I found the show.
Stop it.
What is it?
Oh my god.
What will it be?
After Vicky's amazing spicy show, my spicy show. Because Cori sent the trends. I mean, sorry, Cori.
No, I didn't.
Pick
Damn
Idaten.
it.
Yep.
Shit.
I'm man.
God damn it.
This is... I gotta do this.
Anime when I need it. Where's my My Hero
This is Shumatsu no Harem. Which is World Ends.
No! Wait. No!
Hey!
God damn it!
No, it's perfect. It'll be a trilogy of like spicy shows with this one capping it off and then starting the harem trilogy.
Yes, I know! God damn it!
It dovetails so nicely.
Of ecchi with the like super ecchi with the
That's not.
This is perfect.
Fuck!
Cori is dying.
Cori is red. He is red.
Because it makes so much sense. It makes so much sense. First off, I wanted to watch Finna, damn it. I don't want to wait another like months to watch Finna unless I just watch it without you. And then it makes sense. It makes sense to just like, and then we can go straight into Ranma. And then I don't know if you, I suggested Fushigi Yugi, but you don't have to do Fushigi Yugi.
We can watch Dramatica Murder.
Is that a harem?
Technically.
Okay.
Because it's one main character and then lots of potential love like interests.
Is it
okay.
Is it the girl's perspective though? Wait a minute. Okay, I'm getting mixed.
Is it a bunch of boys?
I'm getting mixed signals from Vicky.
Is it a bunch of boys?
Yeah, exactly. It's a bunch of boys.
Fine.
Yeah,
that's fine.
That's what I was wanting. I wanted boys.
I accept.
I wanted boys.
I accept that as completely and totally acceptable. It's not a problem. I was tending towards the quote unquote reverse harem, but I've never actually logically considered the gay harem or bi harem.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So fair is fair.
Okay.
I'm all right.
Oh my god.
I got
Okay.
Fujiyoshi's
Vicky threw me for a loophole because I thought it was like the girl's perspective with a bunch of boys, but Vicky's saying boy and boy.
More
got
boys,
it.
yeah.
Okay. I'm my bad. I didn't. I'm sorry for stereotyping. I was like, wait a minute. I'm my fault.
So what we're doing is we're getting Patrick to do a twofer because he's going to do like the super ecchi show, but it's also a literal show called What World in Harem. to kick us off on our harem, or you can just do a third harem anime, whatever.
We should commit to this. Let's commit to it.
So you're going to do ecchi show with the harem, then we're going to go harem, and then a third harem.
Episodes 35, 36, and 38 are going to be our streak.
All right, so 35, 36, 37
my bad, 37
will all be super ecchi shows. Even though mine's not even that bad. It's terrible in certain ways, but it's not redo of healer bad. Anyway, and then 38.
We got Clinic Panzer.
Huh?
Palette Cleanser for 38.
Oh. Yeah, Ranma. Oh. Ranma's great. Hate you both. Hate you so much. Anyway, then we'll do Ranma, and then we'll do your dude harem, and then whatever harem that Patrick can figure out. Because now I'm just like...
There's plenty of them.
There are, and a lot of them are trash, honestly. Like, they're fine if you're 14, but I'm not 14 anymore, so they're bad. They're all bad. For any 14-year-old listening who shouldn't be, your harem choices are probably bad. I'm glad you enjoy them. High School DxD, it's bad. I'm glad you like it. High School of the Dead.
Oh my goodness. That's, yeah.
That is an ecchi show. And it's kind of, yeah,
it's a harem. Yeah, that's also harem.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do want to watch Idaten today.
Just, so good.
Get into it. And then I want to watch Yukoku no Moriarty.
And then I want to finish that show I don't want to watch.
Which is?
Utena.
Oh, jeez.
She knew. I gotta finish it. I got 3 episodes. I gotta finish it before the end of the year. It's my goal now.
Me too. I gotta attempt that.
I really wanted to watch Finna, but now we set ourselves up for the next 6 weeks.
It's a good place to be.
Yeah.
All right, well, this was a good one.
Yeah.
Once again, hit us up, leave comments. We're on Twitter at 0 Taku Katsu. Email us at otakukatsupodcast@gmail.com. See us on Podbean with Otaku Katsu Podbean. Nope, Otaku Katsu Podcast. We're also on iTunes, Otaku Katsu Podcast. YouTube. Taku Katsu. Yeah. Hit us up, y'all.
Yeah. So, we have been your hosts for episode 1 review and all of the rest of the show review. The Idaten Gods only know peace. Itadakimasu Otaku Katsu. Say bye, Patrick.
Bye, guys. This is gonna start off the trilogy of the echiness.
I hate you, Patrick. Say bye, Vicky.
Let's keep getting hyped for this ecchi trilogy.
I do truly hate you as well, Vicky. And for all the people who don't know, I hate you too, Cori. Peace.
Bye.